And hello, everybody. You're very welcome to a new On Location episode where typically Marco and I get to have chats with folks leading up to an event. We call it our Chats on the Road. And we're on our way to Frisco, Texas for Collaborate 2024. Marco's not with me for this one, but we're going to have him on for some other sessions. Today, we're going to learn about what Collaborate is, what you can hear, who you can see, who you can meet, who you can chat with, what you can take away from you to help with your security, risk management, compliance programs, and everything that surrounds them, so you can live a better, healthy life as a CISO or CRO or whatever it is you do to help protect the business and help them generate revenue safely. And I'm thrilled to have a lot of friends here, people I've known for a while, new friends, bringing Collaborate to life this year. Leslie Jenkins, Robert Booker, Blake Sutherland, Steve Perkins. Great to have you on.
Great to be here. Thanks, Sean.
Be here.
So I don't know how many I've been to, quite a few. I missed the last couple, sadly, for personal reasons, not because I didn't want to be there, but I've been to Collaborate. It's an amazing event, bringing some luminaries from various sectors, healthcare and finance and insurance and otherwise, to really bring policies and controls and compliance to the business in a way that doesn't overwhelm them, right? And they can still achieve what they need to from a compliance perspective. Robert, I'm going to start with you. I think you've been to certainly more than me, probably more than most of us on this, your history with HITRUST. Can you give us a sense of what some of the objectives are for the conference? I don't know, it's probably 10 years or so now that it's been in play. Different names, but nonetheless.
Yeah, well, it's it began pretty organically. Let's just get some people together and have a conversation about the challenge we all face, and it's grown organically year over year. Even the pause we took because of COVID, obviously a disappointment to all of us that none of us could get together, but we continue to come together. We see old friends every year. We meet some new friends every year. It's kind of an interesting event because it's not so much like just a conference where you come to learn. It's a place where you come to talk about the problems you're facing with people. It's more of a kind of a user community feel, but in a much grander way, I think, than just your typical local kind of user conference type of thing. So, you get a perspective of hearing from you'll hear from certainly us at HITRUST, but you'll hear from other leaders in the industry, the people that are actually out there doing the work every day on the ground, trying to make their systems more secure, more safe, earn the obligations they have to meet on compliance, be able to demonstrate and prove in a very robust way that they're doing a great job, and finding a place where you can just talk to people about the challenges they're facing and think about the problems, and still in a kind of an intimate way. I mean, it's not the massive event where you just get lost in the crowd. I mean, these are people and communities and teams that all get together, and we kind of all we're all geeks in a very specialized area, so we get to geek out together on the problem, and I think that's really exciting.
And endless sessions of geeking out. And my show, the podcast, I look at things from an operational perspective, and
Sure.
So does Collaborate. I mean, the sessions are around best practices, tried and true methods to take a program and actually implement it in a way that aligns with the business objectives and in line with budgets and team that people have. And so real life experiences and use cases and scenarios, it's incredible. Steve, can you give us an overview of what people might expect, kind of the grand theme of things, and maybe some of the hot topics that folks will get to.
Yeah, the theme of the event is charting the path forward, and we thought that was apropos because we're kind of at a point where you look at the recent events that's been happening, some mega breaches in the industry, and the question is where does this go? Where do we need to go together collectively as an industry around assurances and risk management and compliance. And so we've tried to assemble an overarching agenda kind of just to scratch at that itch, right? To really hit on that. Everything from having some people who've been around in this industry and helping shape it for the last 20 years, having sort of roundtable discussions, all the way to we've got some thought leaders in the area of ransomware who are going to come in and talk about, well, how does that really change our thoughts about resilience, and how does it stress all of our systems in different ways that we need to be thinking about in different ways moving forward? We've got some sessions talking about the workforce of the future and how do we really think differently to solve the talent gap that we're all facing. As well as, HITRUST itself, we're in a hyper innovative phase and cycle where we're doing a lot of really innovative things and evolving things forward. And we're going to touch on those, not so much just purely of what we're doing, but what's the macro problems and what do we think the industry should be doing about it, and how are we trying to contribute to that? So I think those are some of the things that we're going to touch on across the 3-day span. So should be very, very lively and useful for everybody.
And I'll point out that, this isn't HITRUST just spewing stuff. We have assessors, we have customers, we have partners, a whole group of folks that have a role to play in varying aspects of achieving security and achieving compliance.
Well, and we think of it as our entire community, whether it's those that you mentioned or adjacent areas like cyber insurance or the security control industry and service industry. Everyone's welcome there, and they're all part of, security is a team sport. So we like to include the entire community.
And to that point, there are well over 20, almost maybe 25 breakout sessions that were specifically submitted from our community. So this is not just an agenda packed with things that are important to HITRUST, but also things that our community have told us that they want to get together to discuss.
And I think some of the things I've come across, AI, third party, cyber insurance, I don't know, you probably have a better sense of what those important topics are. Blake, you mentioned cyber insurance. You want to touch on that for a second?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be chairing a panel on that involving some experts from the industry, from McGill, Triumph Cyber, and Google. And we'll be talking about many aspects. In fact, this has been a topic that our community's been talking about for many years now. And only this year did we release a cyber insurance facility related to someone's HITRUST certification. We've known for years that people have wanted to and been, had benefit from their certifications in terms of demonstrating stuff, but we wanted something a little bit more programmatic. And we'll be talking about that and the marriage of telemetry and solid assurances and how that helps the insurance industry make better risk decisions and hopefully give more competitive products. Another aspect of sort of marrying the two together, like we're doing for our community, is to speed the whole process of getting insurance. It can be a very arduous task. I think Robert's lived through it probably more than anyone here, and just how long it takes to get cyber insurance for an organization can be daunting. So we'll be talking about all those things. And in fact, you mentioned third-party risk. We even talk about, the role of insurance as it relates to evaluating your vendors and what that means for third-party risk.
What about AI, Robert, and other stuff that is rolling around in your incredible brain there? You've been involved with stuff for so long.
Yeah. Well, I work with really smart people, so this brain is very grateful to be around those folks. I think, I think, Sean, AI, it's going to be a topic we have to hit on. You can't ignore it. And we can't ignore it because the community is enduring it and experiencing it and being asked to lead, from the front on the challenge in their organizations. So if you're almost any organization today is looking at AI in some form or fashion, and it's not an area where the regulatory and standards space is kept up. And in fact, we think that's the great opportunity. And our community has told us that is the opportunity because people want to do it well. They certainly don't want to, imagine things that don't exist, hallucinate, if you will. And they want to look at AI not only from a risk management perspective, make sure they're governing it well. And that's often a different audience than the security leader. That's the corporate leadership, maybe even the boards of companies. They speak a different language from a governance and risk management point of view. And they're looking to their security leaders to, step into the AI risk management problem. But then there's also an absence of, how do I know my AI system is secure? Have I actually tested the security and understood the threats that we're facing? And we've had the opportunity to talk to some incredibly smart people. We have a working group that is made up of some of the major service providers in the AI space and cloud service providers, and a couple of major companies that are actually consumers and leaders in healthcare that are building and using AI in very creative and powerful ways. And I think to bring together all those insights and to actually have the community at Collaborate to actually see how this is being built from the ground up is going to be, I think, really valuable, because before the end of this year, people will be able to create a certification with our system and stand for testing and validation and certification of their AI system using the same approach they've always used to secure their cybersecurity and get those great outcomes they've been earning and experiencing, but now to take that to the AI problem as well. And so it's significantly different. It's a different type of space. But what people tell me over and over again is it's new, it's novel. Security and cybersecurity leaders are wanting to lead on this, but they need to understand where to go and how to step into it. And we think there's a great opportunity for the community to come together and to learn from each other and to actually, to make this, operational and practical and scalable, and help people have an approach that, they can deliver, within a quarter or two, and actually start standing and saying, yes, our systems have been built to be secure from a cybersecurity perspective, and also to be managed from an AI risk management point of view.
Yeah, no question, AI is top of mind for a lot of folks. It's probably one of the most prevalent innovations that have taken the internet or the news life cycle by storm. But there's a lot of other stuff going on, a lot of change in general, and I'm particularly excited to have a chance to sit down with Dan Nuckus, CEO HITRUST, to talk about the innovations that HITRUST has delivered to the community over the years, and a view into the future. I believe, Robert, you're going to join for this conversation as well. Mm-hmm. There's so much amazing things coming out of the smart people that work at HITRUST. So I'm excited to have that conversation. But you can innovate all day long, but if you can't actually get it implemented and deployed and managed properly, a lot of those innovations fall offside. So I'm excited to have conversations around how programs run, how teams are run, how I think Stevie mentioned how do we build a workforce of the future. I think that's going to be an important one. And I guess where I want to go, I'm going to also have a chance to chat with Alan Liska about the ransomware thing. And I mean, there's a lot of innovation on the other side of the coin here as well, right? So insights from that world, threat intelligence and dark web, and what those groups are doing to take advantage of companies that don't have the best program in place, perhaps. Leslie, I want to go to you because there's a lot of, yes, we're all going to learn. We're going to have some great conversations. We're going to make some new friends. But there's more to HITRUST Collaborate than just the sessions, right? What else is going on?
Yeah, so to start with, we're going to be at what at least some folks will think is a very exciting location. We're actually going to be holding the conference adjacent to the world headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys football team. And we'll even have a big event where we will get an opportunity to mingle and network and talk and have a lot of fun on the practice field that the Cowboys use. So we'll be in their facility, their practice facility, celebrating a great Collaborate together at a pretty fun location. There will also be other opportunities built in for networking. And I think that was one of the things that our attendees last year surprisingly found extra valuable because, and I think it was a surprise to them, it's so easy in this day and age of virtual events to forget how important it is to be able to have those hallway conversations, or strike up a conversation with the person next to you in a session, and it leads to something fantastic. And we were really gratified to see how energized the folks were who attended last year. It was our first time back in person after the pandemic, and that was very energizing, very motivating. And being in a new location this year, I think that that aspect of Collaborate is just going to grow.
And there's a word on the Collaborate site, inspiration. And I think that's there as well, because that says I feel something, but also have a desire to take action on what I feel. And there's no question that I've experienced that at the Collaborates that I've been to. It is October 1 through 3, the 1st through the 3rd, Frisco, Texas, as Leslie described. Is there anything we didn't touch on that you think folks need to know, Steve?
Just a couple little logistics points for those people who don't know. Frisco, Texas is about a half an hour, 45 minutes north of Dallas Airport, DFW, or Dallas Love Field. So it's pretty easy to get to the events at the Omni Star Hotel up there. And as we said, we've got events planned out throughout the day around the sessions. We've got luncheons, we've got speakers, we've got evening events, etc. So Blake kind of said it, right? This is a team sport, so this is an opportunity for you to come and hang out and be with your teammates.
And it's all about charting the path forward, right? And who doesn't want to be part of charting the path? Not just follow, but actually participate and help shape where things are headed. And it's always a thrill and an honor to be part of what HITRUST does and the Collaborate event. I'm super thrilled to be back at Collaborate and to engage with everybody and be part of the community and help chart that path forward. 1st through 3rd of October. I look forward to seeing everybody there. Robert, Leslie, Blake, Steve, thank you so much for enlightening us on what to expect. And we'll see y'all in October.
Thank you. See you then.
See you then. See you all there.
And of course, everybody listening and watching, we'll include links in the show notes for ways to register and participate and learn more about HITRUST and the event itself. So stay tuned. We have more coming out on Liska down the road and more stuff from the event as well. So thanks, everybody.